Let me take you back to where it all began. A small farm in Idaho. I grew up surrounded by fields, hard work, and the kind of simplicity that teaches you the value of a dollar before you even earn one. My father, still living on that same homestead at 91, instilled in me a relentless work ethic. But hard work alone wasn't enough. By 25, I was broke. Pennies in my pocket, empty bank accounts, and broken promises to my family. I thought I was smart enough to skip college, get a job, and make it on my own. Turns out, smarts without direction are like a ship without a sail. You drift. Then came Mr. Shoaff, a man who didn't just change my life. He rewired it. He taught me that transformation starts not with changing the world around you, but with changing yourself. If you want the future to change for you, he said, you've got to change. Those words became my North Star. Over the next 5 years, under his mentorship, I went from broke to millionaire. How? By embracing what I now call the 3 pillars of transformation: personal development, goal setting, and financial independence. Let's begin with the first pillar of a life transformed: personal development. It was Mr. Shoaff who first opened my eyes to this principle. He said something so simple, so understated, that at first I almost dismissed it. But over the years, it proved to be the cornerstone of every success I've ever experienced. Work harder on yourself than you do on your job? Think about that for a moment. Most people spend their lives working on everything except themselves. They fight to change the economy, the government, the job market. They complain about the boss, the taxes, the weather, the interest rates. Always something out there to blame. But what they don't realize is that the greatest leverage in life isn't changing the world around you. It's changing the world within you. Because here's the truth. The marketplace doesn't pay you for your time. It pays you for the value you bring. And value is not fixed. Value is fluid. It rises and falls with your skills, your attitude, your hunger to grow. You can double your income, triple your influence, 10 times your opportunities, but only if you grow. You don't get paid for effort. You get paid for results. And results come from refining the instrument. That instrument is you. So how do you begin? Start with learning. And not just from your own mistakes, though those are powerful teachers. Learn from the mistakes, triumphs, and wisdom of others. Why take 10 years to figure something out when you can read a book and learn it in a weekend? Mr. Shoaff gave me a reading list that changed everything. Books like Think and Grow Rich, The Richest Man in Babylon, How to Win Friends and Influence People. These weren't just pages, they were blueprints. They cracked open my old thinking and built a new structure for success inside my mind. These books didn't just teach me how to make money, they taught me how to build character, discipline, and vision. He told me, White, don't just read casually, study, highlight, reflect. But the real shift came when he handed me a leather-bound notebook. This, he said, is your second brain. Your memory will fade, but your journal will keep your lessons alive. And so I began to write. Every quote that struck a chord, every idea that made me pause, every insight that felt like a thunderbolt, I wrote it down. And over time, that journal became more valuable than my bank account. Because money comes and goes, but wisdom compounds. Now let me tell you what most people do. They graduate from school, they toss the textbooks, and they declare, I'm done with learning. But life is not static, and neither is the world. Technology evolves, markets shift, industries rise and fall. But the real question is, are you evolving with it, Imagine two people. One clocks in at 9, does just enough not to get fired, and clocks out at 5. Same routine, same complaints, same thinking. The other finishes work, then spends an hour reading, watching seminars, practicing their speaking, taking online courses, asking questions, seeking mentors. 1 year goes by. Not much difference. 2 years? Some separation. 5 years? One is irreplaceable, the other is invisible. Why? Because you don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. And the ultimate system is this: daily personal development. You want to be wealthy? Work on your philosophy. You want to lead others? Work on your communication. You want to be indispensable in the marketplace? Work on your unique abilities. Ask yourself, am I more valuable this year than I was last year? Have I developed a new skill in the last 6 months? Can I solve more complex problems than I could a year ago? If the answer is no, then the world will move past you. Not because it's unfair, but because value is always in motion. Let me give you a metaphor. Picture a tree in the forest. If it doesn't grow, it dies. No tree just stays the same. Growth is nature's law. And you are no different. You can't coast on yesterday's wins. You can't live forever off that college degree or that job title or that one big success. If you're not sharpening the axe, eventually you won't be able to cut through anything. Mr. Shoaff once told me, life doesn't get better by chance. It gets better by change. But not change in the world, change in you. So what should you do right now? Start small, but start today. Pick up a book, one that challenges you, that stretches your thinking. Start a journal. Record your insights. Build your own philosophy. Find someone who's ahead of you and learn everything you can. Watch one TED Talk a day. Take one online course per month. Speak less. Listen more. Set a standard. No zero growth days. Even if it's just 5 minutes. Read one page. Write one line. Learn one new idea. Stack those days, and in a year, you won't recognize yourself. Remember this: you are the ceiling of your own success. When you grow, everything else grows. Your income, your influence, your impact. The world doesn't get easier. You get better. That's the promise of personal development. That's the power of working harder on you than you do on your job. Because you can lose a job. You can lose a business. You can lose a home. But the person you become, that's yours to keep forever. So invest in that person. Sculpt that person. Because in the end, that person is your greatest asset. The second pillar, goal setting. Now let's talk about the second pillar, goal setting. Goals are not optional. They are vital. They are the bridges between who you are and who you want to become. Without them, you're drifting, wandering through life with no compass, no destination, no sense of direction. Most people think they have goals, but what they really have are wishes, vague hopes, empty desires. I want to be rich. I want to be happy. I want to be successful. That's not goal setting. That's tossing darts in the dark. No clarity, no strategy, no follow-through. Mr. Shoaff used to say, a goal that isn't written down is just a fantasy. A plan that isn't acted on is just noise. And he was right. Real goals must be clear, concrete, and written down. You must treat them not like soft ideas floating in your mind, but like contracts with your future self. Blueprints for the life you intend to build. Step 1, get specific. Ask yourself, what do you want? But don't answer vaguely. This isn't the time for fluffy answers. This is where you get brutally honest with yourself. Don't just say, I want more money. Say, I want to earn $250,000 a year within 3 years. Don't say, I want to get in shape. Say, I want to lose 20 pounds by October 1st. Don't say, I want to travel more. Say, I want to visit Japan by next spring. Clarity is power. Vagueness is poison. Once you define it, write it down. Not in your phone, not in your head. On paper, in ink. Make it real. There's something powerful about seeing your goals in front of you. They become tangible, trackable, alive. Step 2, set a deadline. A goal without a deadline is just a dream. It's a balloon with no string. It floats away the moment life gets busy. Deadlines create urgency. They put time on your side. They transform someday into by this date. Want to write a book? Set a launch date. Want to save $100,000? Break it into monthly deposits. Want to start a business? Set the open buy date and reverse engineer the steps. This is where most people fail. They set lofty intentions with no structure, and then they wonder why nothing happens. But once you give your goal a timeline, it begins to breathe. It becomes a countdown, a challenge, a call to action. Step 3, understand the true purpose. Here's the secret that changed my life. Goals are not just about what you achieve, they're about who you become. When I was 25, Mr. Shoaff challenged me to set a goal. Become a millionaire, he said. Not for the money, but for what it will make of you to achieve it. That line hit me like a bolt of lightning. Because to become a millionaire, I couldn't stay the same. I had to level up. My mindset, my discipline, my habits, my resilience. I had to become the kind of person who could earn, manage, and multiply wealth. Years later, I lost that first fortune. Completely gone. But here's the miracle. I didn't panic. Why? Because the money was gone, but the person I became remained. And that person could build it all again, and faster. So set your goals not just to acquire things, but to become someone powerful in the process. Someone capable, someone who can weather storms and build again. Step 4, make the past. Your classroom, not a cage. To design your future, treat the past like a school, not a prison. Yes, you failed before. Welcome to the club. But failure is feedback, not a life sentence. The past is full of lessons, but you must extract them, write them down, and then let them go. Don't drag your regrets into tomorrow. Leave them behind, but take the wisdom forward. Then face the future with anticipation, not apprehension. If the road ahead looks hard, good. It means it's going somewhere worthwhile. Step 5, break goals into bite-sized steps. One of the biggest reasons people quit on their goals is because they feel overwhelmed. They try to swallow the whole elephant in one bite. But the way you tackle big dreams is by chunking them down. Want to save $100,000? Start with $100, then $1,000, then $10,000. Want to run a marathon? Start with a mile. Want to build a business? Start with a logo, then a website, then your first client. Momentum compounds. Every small step fuels the next. Every victory adds to your belief, and belief is rocket fuel. Step 6, track your growth. Keep your old goal lists. They're not relics. They're time capsules of your progress. I still have journals from when I was in my 20s. Some of the goals written in them make me chuckle. Own a horse, have $500 in the bank, learn how to speak on stage without shaking. But I keep them because every check mark is a testament to evolution, a record of who I once was and who I dared to become. You'll be amazed when you look back and realize how far you've climbed. And that gives you the courage to set even bolder goals for the future. The price of the promise. Here's what most people don't want to hear, but need to. Every promise has a price. You want financial freedom? The price is discipline, delayed gratification, and sacrifice. You want to be great at something? The price is practice, failure, long nights, and criticism. You want the body, the career, the life? The price is focus, consistency, and saying no to lesser things. But here's the good news. When the promise is clear, the price feels light. Missing a party to study? It stings until you land the promotion. Waking up early to train? It hurts until you see the transformation. Skipping the impulse buy? It sucks until you watch your investment portfolio grow. The clearer your why, the easier the how. Final step. Act, adjust, repeat. Goals without action are hallucinations. So act. Take the first step today. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just start. Then adjust. Course correct. Life will throw detours. That's normal. Don't abandon the goal. Refine the approach. Then repeat. Again and again. Until your dreams are no longer dreams, but memories. Because in the end, goals are not about achievement. They're about alignment. Aligning your daily actions with your deepest desires. Aligning your habits with your highest calling. And aligning your time with the kind of life you want to live. So dream boldly, write it down, set the date, pay the price, and go become the kind of person who makes big goals inevitable. The third pillar, financial independence. Which brings us to the third pillar, financial independence. Let's get one thing straight. Money isn't evil. It's neutral, a tool, a resource, a magnifier, a tool to create options, a tool to build security, a tool to leave a legacy. But most people don't treat it like a tool. They treat it like a slot machine. Swipe the card, cross your fingers, hope for luck. They work hard all week and spend it all by Friday, then wonder why they feel stuck. Mr. Shoaff flipped that entire mindset. His mantra was simple, powerful, unforgettable. Don't spend the whole dollar. It wasn't just about budgeting. It was a philosophy of wealth. A way of thinking that separates the financially free from the financially trapped. The 70-10th formula. Here's how he broke it down. 70% for living, your needs and your reasonable wants. Live well, but not foolishly. Enjoy life, but don't mortgage your future for a fleeting moment. 10% for charity, because generosity builds character. It reminds you that wealth isn't just about getting, it's about giving. When you give, you grow, not just financially, but spiritually. 10% for active capital. This is money you use to create more money. You start a side hustle, buy and flip, launch a product, take a calculated risk. This capital has a job, generate profit. 10% for passive capital, your long-term nest egg. Stocks, bonds, interest-bearing accounts. This money goes to work while you sleep. It grows slowly, steadily, and silently. Let's be clear. This is not just about percentages. It's about priorities. The poor spend first and save what's left, if anything. The wealthy invest first and live on what's left. The mindset is flipped, and that changes everything. The power of time and compound interest. Start early, start small, but above all, start consistently. Let's run a simple scenario. Let's say you invest $100 a month, every month, starting at age 15. You find a vehicle that returns 10% annually, which is not unrealistic over time in the stock market. By age 35, over $150,000. By age 50, nearly $700,000. Not because you were rich, but because you were disciplined. That's the magic of compound interest. It's not just math, it's financial gravity. Your money, over time, begins to multiply on its own. And the longer it runs, the more unstoppable it becomes. But if you wait until you're 35 to start, you've lost the most powerful element, time. Time is your greatest ally, or your silent enemy. Most people waste it, then panic when it's gone. From consumer to creator. But here's the deeper transformation. Financial independence begins in your mind, not your wallet. You have to shift from being a consumer to becoming a creator. Ask yourself, instead of spending money, how do I create value? How can I turn ideas, skills, or energy into assets? A child buys a broken bike for $5, patches it up, sells it for $15. That's not just profit. That's a lesson in vision. That child is learning to see what others miss. Opportunity hiding inside a problem. This mindset is everything. Don't just watch Netflix. Learn how streaming changed entertainment. Don't just buy clothes. Understand branding, manufacturing, design. Don't just scroll social media. Learn what makes content go viral. Behind every product you use is a person who got paid to create it. Why not you? The true meaning of financial freedom. And now we get to the heart of it all. Because financial freedom isn't about luxury cars or tropical vacations. It's about control. It's the ability to wake up and say, I decide how I spend my day. I don't have to beg for time off. I can walk away from a toxic job without panic. I can help a loved one without asking permission. It's not flashy. It's quiet power. The kind that shows up in the form of peace of mind in moments when others feel panic. Financial freedom means that a car repair doesn't shatter your month. It means that if your kid gets sick, you don't have to choose between the doctor and the rent. It means you can say yes to opportunities and no to things that don't serve you. And let's be honest, it means you can help people. You can fund a scholarship, pay off your parents' mortgage, start a charity. Because when your cup overflows, you can finally pour into others. What you become. But remember this, because it's the golden thread running through all three pillars. It's not what you get that matters. It's what you become. Financial independence isn't the end. It's the beginning. It's what happens to your character when you learn to say no to instant gratification. It's the discipline you build when you stick to a plan, month after month, year after year. It's the sharpness of your mind when you start seeing money not as a paycheck, but as a servant. Because in the end, money is either a powerful tool or a cruel master. And the choice is yours. Mr. Shoaff once told me, you don't get paid for the hour. You get paid for the value you bring to the hour. That value, it multiplies when you take charge of your life, when you develop yourself, when you set bold goals, and when you learn to make money serve you, not the other way around. So don't just chase income, build independence. Don't just dream of wealth. Learn the laws that govern it. And don't wait for permission. Start today. Because freedom, real freedom, isn't about escape. It's about ownership of your time, of your choices, of your future.